Just how bad do millennials actually have it? Well, that question is going to come down to who you ask and what their answer is going to be, depending on possibly the generation that they came from. But myself, I am a millennial, so for the context of this video, this is going to be for anyone born in the range of 1981 to right around 1995, 1996, give or take. Look, when it comes to millennials, you often hear the words thrown around of millennials are lazy, or millennials are entitled, or millennials are a lost generation, or millennials are stuck behind their phone. However you want to name it, millennials definitely don't have the best rep when it comes to their work environment and how they handle and how they live their lives. They're also seen as people that just quite frankly want to travel all the time and just want to live in a paradise type of reality. But you see, I think it's a little bit deeper than that. And look, if you've been following this channel for some time, you guys know that we don't really like to sugarcoat anything on here. This channel is actually based around building businesses, the entrepreneurship hustle, as well as helping you get more into the investing world, as well as making you smarter with your money. So this isn't to take anything away from things that you can control, but I at least wanted to bring to your attention a couple of alarming statistics that I was able to come across when it comes to what millennials are going through financially, and are millennials a lost generation in terms of, are they just flat out financially screwed? So let's go ahead and get right into some points here. And you guys, as always, let me know down in the comments what your thoughts are on this topic right here. If you think financially millennials are screwed, or do you think that there actually is hope left for millennials? Because I'm rooting for millennials. Again, for crying out loud, I am a millennial because I fall right within that date range. So 66% of millennials right now that are in the workforce have $0 saved to their name, or for retirement to their name. Let that sit for a second. We're talking about 66% of millennials have $0. This right here is alarming to me, because we know that our parents and generations that came before us, they were taught to, you work a career, you're there for 35, 40 some odd years, and then you retire with a good pension, your 401k and Social Security is going to take care of you. Well, we also know that Social Security may not necessarily be around when millennials go to retire. So if you are right around my age, if you are anywhere between the ages of 26 to right around 37, then that's another 30, maybe 40 years, if that, at this pace, especially with where wages are, that you are going to have to continue working, especially if, well, things continue to go the way that they are. We know that the Social Security system is already busted enough as it is, which there may not be any funds in there to begin with. So the fact that we have millennials having $0 to their name, in my opinion, is alarming. Here is the second statistic. 43% of millennials haven't even started investing. That goes for real estate, that goes for crypto, and that goes for stocks. But let's focus on the real estate aspect of it, because right around 8% of millennials are less likely to own real estate versus previous generations. And I think that part of the reason for that is, let's just go ahead and call out the elephant in the room, right? Home prices are at historic level highs. And not only that, cost of living in general is also at historic level highs with where rent is right now. Now, focus more on owning real estate, because this is really what this portion is about right here. When it comes to owning real estate, right around $330,000 is the median priced home across the country. That's what it costs right now to own a home. Now, obviously, if you live in a market in Las Vegas or maybe Los Angeles, that's way more, but this is the median price. This is including the Midwest, where there's virtually nothing there but cow pastures and obviously beautiful landscaping, right? Now, with the median price being $330,000, that's nothing compared in terms of affordability to what baby boomers were able to purchase their homes for, which is right around, and by the way, this is adjusted for inflation, right around $216,000 when they were first in that first-time home buyer market, which is no wonder why we have 63% of millennials right now. Apart from not having any money saved for retirement, we also have these 63% of millennials don't have enough money or any money at all saved up for the down payment of their first home. But again, even if they were looking for a home, especially in this current market climate, it's not like they would even be able to find anything, because if you are going to purchase a home in this climate, you're having to come in with at least 20% down or all cash just to be in the ball game, considering how expensive and how hot some of these markets are, and of course depending on where in the country you're actually watching this video from. And now last but not least, when it comes to education, millennials were told to go to school, study, you would have a great job, but that came in with an expensive price tag of an average of $40,000 is more so how much millennials owe right now in student loan debt, which puts it at a kind of a fork in the road, because you're told to go to school, in exchange you're going to get a good job. But on the other side of that, you go to school, you have this debt, and then when you come out of school, you're actually paid 20% less compared to when the previous generation, specifically baby boomers, when they went to school and when they graduated from school, their starting salaries were 20% higher than what millennials get paid right now. And of course, all of this is adjusted for inflation, but we do have to realize that if you had, let's say, back $100 back when baby boomers were 25, 26, 27 years old. $100 back when baby boomers were first starting out their careers was significantly different than what a, let's say, millennial would have now. That's equivalent, in my opinion, to having at least $1,000. It just goes by so much faster. Now, of course, when it comes to being a millennial, you do have to understand and realize, though, that there are some consequences to not being financially literate. There are some consequences to not having extra income. I really think that we've gotten into the day and age that if you don't have at least 3 sources of income, I don't even think that it can be 2 anymore. I really believe that it needs to be at least 3 sources of income. Then it's going to be extremely difficult for a millennial or someone, especially coming up in this day and age, to really live that lifestyle and that dream that they really want. We had a recent survey that came out that right around 43% of millennials that earn over $100,000 feel that they still live paycheck to paycheck. Now, of course, going back to not only you having that extra income from the side hustles, but it also does boil back down to having a budget. Now, obviously, when you have a budget, it tells you not so much it restricts you from what you can't buy, but it helps you actually have freedom in terms of what you can buy, because it lets you know that you're governing over your money. Now, one thing that I will say about this, because a lot of people say, well, just budget, just budget, just budget. You can only budget to a certain extent. You can only cut out so many cups of coffee to a certain extent. Believe me, cutting out coffee is not going to make you a millionaire, at least not the way that you're thinking about it, unless you wanted to throw some of that money into a Roth IRA and then let it grow over the next 40, 50 years. But let's be honest here. The average American isn't going to want to wait 40, 50 years and saving them from having to go out and buy coffee to throw that into a Roth IRA. So in my opinion, it is going to come down to not just keeping your costs low, but driving that income up. While I do believe that millennials on the back or on the front end are financially screwed in terms of how expensive everything has gotten and how small of a return they're actually getting for what they thought was a good investment and a really just a flat out an outdated education system. I do believe that on the back end, the way that we have technology now, the way that we're able to leverage having multiple sources of income, working off of your phone, still having a day job, having robo-advisors, being able to invest right off of your phone, being able to look at content like this on YouTube, being able to join live Discords for free, whether it's off of our channel or someone else's channel, and just learning. I think that we do need to take advantage of that more as a generation versus just pointing the finger and saying how screwed up everything is. Now, again, I do think that us being in the situation that we're in right now, obviously the system does need to be rearranged, but at the same time, we need to at least focus on what we can focus on, and that's furthering our education, enhancing our resumes, building off of our networks, and ultimately working with what we have at our fingertips right now. So, if there's anything that I missed in this video and there's some things that maybe you feel that millennials are disproportionately disadvantaged in, let me know down in the comments. We'll love to see that. As always, within the first 30 minutes to 45 minutes of every video, I'm always down there hanging out and engaging with you guys. So let's go ahead and keep the conversation going down in the comments. If you haven't done so already, consider hitting that subscribe button down below. Join the official community. Don't forget that anytime we're not posting on here, we're posting over on the Inside with Irv show, which is our podcast style channel. So if you like what we have going on over here, you'll love what we have going on over there. Once again, I appreciate you guys checking us out. Until next time, everyone, I will see you in the next video.